Hey, what's up and hello? This is the Chris Nicole bringing you my views on life, love, and the world of entertainment through my eyes. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on what time you are watching this live. Hello, crew. Hope all is well. Please double tap the screen, hit the like button, three dots to your right, hit the likety like button, please. Oh, well. Damn. Capricorn Clark, as we suspected, was in court today for Diddy's case, and she testified, okay? And I must say, based on the background and all of the channels and news stations that are actually giving detailed descriptions of what happened in the courtroom, I would have to say she has been the most powerful testimony thus far. Now, the question is, do you guys believe her or not? We will definitely talk about that. However, there was a couple of things that she said that made my spidey senses, my conspiracy antennas go haywire. Now, one thing I will say is, first things first, Capricorn Clark, we have found out and confirmed that that is not Lauren London's sister. They are, I guess, apparently friends. Lauren has a tendency to always say, oh, that's my sis or that's my friend or whatever the case may be. Maybe she used to call her that, but they are not actual biological sisters. In fact, we have found out that Capricorn Clark parents are no longer alive. And she also has an autistic child. I don't know when she had that baby, but from my understanding, before she started working with Diddy, both of her parents were gone. I find that to be very interesting. In my personal opinion, I also feel, in my opinion, that Diddy was very aware she didn't have any family. He purposely wanted her because she didn't have any family. If you ask me, I think he purposely wanted to have people around him that either did not have a strong family dynamic or no family at all, because then that would make them fall to their knees when it was time that he could sit up there and try to take advantage of them or make sure that they came back begging and pleading to be back on his good graces. So I'm sure he did his research. I'm also sure that he did his research, that he knew she was also connected with Suge Knight. That man ain't stupid. All of the people that they claim, all of the resources he has had, all of those things. I just find it very interesting that she said during the testimony, if I'm not mistaken, that she started off with in the music industry back in 96. She did at one point work for Death Row Records. And at a certain point, she ended up finding out that Diddy was actually hiring her, and Diddy, I guess, was cool. And he was like, you want to come work for me? Literally the first day, apparently, that she was working for him, he took her to Central Park at night and pretty much said, if any type of Suge stuff comes to me or anything like that, and I know you are attached to him, he pretty much did an Ike Turner saying he gonna unalive her. I'm gonna unalive you, bitch. You hear me? I'm gonna unalive you, bitch. That type of shit. I honestly feel like he already knew that she worked for Suge Knight, just like he knew she didn't have any family. That's why he selected her. So then that way she would always work for him out of fear. That's the way he liked to operate. Clearly, is people working for him or obeying him strictly out of fear. Make sure you double tap the screen, hit the like button. With that being said, as far as Capricorn and the things that she said, from jewelry being stolen and they was accusing her and she had to do a lie detector test for days And apparently nothing came about on where that jewelry went. They just pretty much said she could come back to work because they pretty much also said that she would be allegedly in the East River if they found out that she took that jewelry that was actually rented out to Diddy, but literally came back after several days and they acted like nothing had happened and all was well. And still to this day, they don't know where the jewelry was. If you ask me, that was also a game and mind game for manipulation. I think they either always knew where that jewelry was or, already knew who had took it. And they did that as a way to control, scare her, manipulate her also. Now, with that being said, it's just based off of her testimony. Some of you guys may feel she's not telling the truth. Some of you guys may feel that she is. Either way, I feel like it was very powerful. And I feel like her actual testimony was way more well put together than Cassie's. Mind you, though, Cassie also had an issue with substances. So half of the time she probably couldn't remember anything. But one thing is for damn sure, Cassie is a friend to no one. She is a friend to no one. Now, one can say that when she was on them substances, on that ooh-wee, her loyalty, was based off of her substances. But it seems to me, out of all of the people who have spoke so far, from her friend, I think Carrie was her name, from last week to even Capricorn, she was a friend to no one. It was about her bottom line, and it almost came across that she didn't care who got hurt in the process. May even didn't mind them being a sacrificial lamb so she could do what she needed to do. All right. But with that being said, she definitely talked about, some very cringy things as far as the Kid Cudi situation. I will say this. This testimony is definitely given the RICO, the RICO. It is definitely putting all of that together. She was able to bring all of that together because at first I was like, this RICOla, I don't understand where it's coming from. I don't see how they're putting it together. Capricorn Clark, in my personal opinion, was bringing everything together. Okay, including the whole Kid Cudi Diddy connection, because of course people was like, well, we don't necessarily know who actually, did that to Kid Cudi's car. After Capricorn Clark testimony, baby, who else could it be? Because she definitely put everything together, including being in the car with him when they were allegedly going to Kid Cudi's house and straight up driving through the Hollywood Hills like mad people trying to chase after Kid Cudi. All right. Lauren London's name came up, interesting enough, and she said that she contacted Lauren London. So someone who is aware of what's going on, but still, if something happened to Capricorn, somebody would be aware of what happened to her or what's going on. I find that interesting that Lauren London name came up, and it was simply because she was like, I called her to make sure that I was protected, so someone knew where I was. I would like to know what their relationship is now. Damn, Lauren London is quiet. I need to know, baby. Like at this point, I want everything out, but Lauren London is very, very quiet, but she did mention Lauren London's name. But what was the biggest thing is that one thing about it. Hi, Oscar. Hey, DeMarcus. I'll talk about that later. I want to kind of flow with my story, DeMarcus. But with that being said, I found it interesting that a lot of people from the Diddys and even the Jay-Z's is that when you tell them no, or you stand up for yourself, or you don't necessarily do what they, want them. They don't want you to do certain things, whatever the case may be. You are at their mercy. They have no problem letting you go and damn near blackballing you, allegedly. Okay. Now I'm going to base it off of Capricorn, but we also know that people have said this stuff about Jay-Z. Okay. But with Capricorn, she pretty much said that when she finally had enough, or when he let her go over some stupid ass reason, that she got blackballed. She couldn't work anywhere at that point. She tried to go to Interscope. And Interscope told her, you need to sit up there and pretty much like you're toast out here because of the whole Diddy situation. Like Diddy pretty much has blocked you from everything. Everywhere she tried to work, they pretty much denied her, except, and this is what I want to talk about, except when she said one person was willing to give her a chance, and that was Chris Lighty. Chris Lighty, very known manager in the hip hop world, has managed acts like Tribe Called Quest, 50 Cent, amongst so many others. He definitely was a legend in the hip hop world, well respected in the hip hop world. She mentioned also that Diddy has said something or implied something to her saying that, well, I don't do the back and forth. Pretty much, I do the pow pow. Now I'm gonna put Capricorn Clark picture up here. I do the pow pow, and said that allegedly about Diddy, or did he? I mean, Diddy allegedly said that about 50, but I'm like, did he say that about 50, or was he saying that in general? And I say that because she said Chris Lighty gave her a chance, gave her a shot. Literally the night before she was supposed to start working for Chris Lighty left this earth. And Chris Lighty left this earth apparently, allegedly unaliving himself. Now, why am I bringing this up? Because I remember when they said Chris Lighty allegedly unalived himself, and no one believed it. People who knew Chris Lighty for decades, years, none of them believed that he would have taken his own life. None of them. So much so, if I'm not mistaken, 50 Cent actually paid to have a private investigator, or they were trying to get a private investigation going on as to what the hell happened. Okay? So when she said that and said that Chris Lighty was the only one who was willing to give her an opportunity, and the next day that she was supposed to work for him and start working for him, that night before he was unalived or unalived himself, quote unquote, I said, oh, hell no. Hell no. What are the odds? What are the odds? So for those who actually have always wondered why 50 Cent is the biggest troll of trolls, now again, I have told you guys time and time again, I have a love-hate relationship with 50 Cent. I believe that 50 Cent sometimes trolls a little too much, things that can just be quite disrespectful. But I'm starting to wonder if 50 Cent is the troll that we need for the industry. Does he know something? Which is the reason why he has never been able to take his foot off of Diddy's neck. Hell, and even Jay-Z's neck. Now, he has said before he just does this for competition, but truthfully, how is there even competition with them at this point? And I say that in all sincerity because 50 has been able to transfer over to TV and film and be very successful in that. Constant success. Jay-Z and Diddy have not. So when he kept saying competition, I'm like, sir, it's not like you are really still trying to dominate in the music industry. Hell, you don't even care, it seems like, about the music industry anymore. The most that you'll do is you'll do the theme song for one of your actual shows, and that's it. And then you'll do your touring. That's how you get your music creativity out. But other than that, your bread and butter now is TV and film. So I don't even see how it would be competition, or is that what he's just saying? Is that what he's just saying? Does Diddy know something? I mean, does 50 know something? Does he know something? Now, I know he likes to say things in a very funny way, but he's never like Diddy. And I know he said the whole thing, let me take you shopping. And he's like, what the F you say to me? What the F you say to me? I always felt like it was something deeper, but it's making me wonder if he knows something. And he knows deep down Chris Lighty did not take himself out. And someone did. And maybe, just maybe, that's why at this point he is keeping his neck on Diddy. Okay. And apparently doing a documentary on top of it. So let's talk about it, y'all. Let's talk about it, because when she said that, I said, oh, hell no. Make sure you guys double tap the screen. For those who are on your phone, double tap the screen. The 3 dots to your right, click on those 3 dots and you can hit the like button there, please. That helps me get into the algorithm. But yeah, you guys, when she said that, I said the odds of the one man who was willing to give you a chance when everybody else said no. Everyone else said no. And the one who actually said, F that, you know, you're dope, or you have a great resume, I'm going to give you the opportunity before you can even work with him, he's gone. Am I reaching? Or is there something there? And you're not going to tell me that she didn't say that on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, she made sure that was said, because I know my freaking antennas went up. I said, wait a minute, what? She said, what? And Chris Lighty, while, you know what I'm saying, people have said he was really cool, they said he wasn't no pushover. He wasn't no punk ass. You wasn't about to push. And I could definitely see someone trying to tell him that ain't a good idea. And he said, F that. I'm a grown ass man. I've been in this business for too long. I'm going to do what the hell I want to do, and I'm going to hire who I want to hire. So let's talk about it. What do y'all think about her saying that? Chris Lighty. Question is, was Chris Lighty taken out? Do you feel he was taken out? And does 50 Cent know is something clean and not clean in that situation? And of course, naturally, if he don't have all of the proof, or shit, maybe he does. And I don't know. But what I do know is that it seems to be that he refused to leave it alone. This man, and I had to use this picture because when I tell you, this fool, after he heard the testimony today, posted this damn picture. 50 Cent is a freaking fool. Do you hear me? He is a trolling, crazy ass fool. He posted this and posted another post about, ooh, Diddy got the pow pow. Ooh, I'm scared. I was just like, this fool. He said, cut, wait a minute. Puffy got a gun. I can't believe this. I don't feel safe. LOL. Then he posted again with this picture and said, oh my goodness, itty bitty Diddy wants me unalive. I have to lay low. I think I'm gonna hide out in the playoff game tonight. Again, clearly he don't give a damn what Diddy had to say. He's just like whatever. But at the same time, again, y'all, you said I can't stand his ways. 50 to me is the deal. He is the biggest troll, but he was telling the truth about Diddy. Okay. He is a nut. He's a super duper nut. But again, I remember like 50, it didn't sit right with him either. 50 was, I think, trying to get a private investigator, getting the family, get a private investigator going about what the hell actually happened. No, I think even he worked with Busta Rhymes. This man had been around for so long and no one believed that he took his own self out. No one. There was not one post that I saw that somebody was like, dang, man, like you was going through this, you was going through that. No, like not enough for him to sit up there and unalive himself. So the fact that this is coming out years later in federal court, and you don't think possibly they prepped her for this to make sure that she made that comment? Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. I think they made sure that they said, you make sure you say that. You make sure that you say that the one person who's willing to give you opportunity was gone before you could even start. You make sure you say that. So then that way it could really see that it comes off, at least based off of these testimonies, that he either pays you so you shut up and you can't say nothing, or he pretty much says he's going to take you out, or they possibly are implying that he will or he has taken people out. Okay, now he ain't got those type of unalive charges, but at the same time, how many times have they've said in these testimonies that he has pretty much implied that if you say something, I'm gonna get you. If you do this, or if you did that, I'm putting you in the East River. Or if you did this, they're constantly talking about this, and not just Capricorn Clark, but literally Don, who, child, that's a whole nother thing. Don Richardson, we'll talk about her. But yeah, so it's almost coming off like, yeah, sir, this could be very, very possible. But again, I don't know. This is for entertainment purposes only. That's why we talk about this. You know, the conspiracy theories tingling, conspiracy court. So with that being said, yeah, I did not know how to respond to that. And honestly, I feel like Capricorn feels something happened too, which made her even more scared. Now, I know some people are saying, well, why the heck would she go back? Why would she go back the multiple times that, she tried to go back? She said she wanted her life back. The thing is, we've heard so many stories about people who said, yes, yeah, thank you, but no, thank you. Or, no, I'm not interested. Or, you know what, that's it. I don't want to work here anymore. I want to find another job. But apparently all of a sudden they can't find another job and they get blackballed. And the reality is, with all of the work that she's done in the music industry, why would she want to go to another industry if that's the industry that she loves and she's been around for a very long time? So the reality is, I was about to say, where else is she going to work where she's going to make the money that she was making? But let's be clear, the money that she was making was pathetic. She said she was making $65,000 a freaking year living in New York City. Hell no. Being Diddy's assistant 24 hours around the clock. So much so that literally HR had to tell her that she literally has worked so much overtime. This man easily owes her $80,000. I think they said every 4 to 5 months, something crazy like that. Her actual salary should have easily been $200,000 plus. And he sat up there and pretty much said, F you, go do your job, and I'm still only paying you $65,000 a year. Like I have said before, find me a billionaire and find me people that they have oppressed to get where they are. $65,000. I'm a civilian and I would have snitched on your ass in a heartbeat paying me only $65,000. You can't even get a studio apartment for $65,000 in New York City. Y'all do know that, right? Somebody who only makes $65,000 is between a rock and a hard place, because you're making too much money living in projects. But then $65,000, you can't make that. You need a guarantor. Like a guarantor, that's somebody who actually, just in case you can't pay it, they will actually pay the rent for you. $65,000. So I was going to say that where else is she going to work? Well, honestly, she probably could have found her a better job in a corporate environment that would have paid her even more money based off of the experience she had. But Diddy had freaking hands. It connects all over the place. So even if she would have went corporate to like, just a regular Fortune 500 company, just his name alone on there, they probably would have wanted a reference. They probably would have only wanted a they probably would have wanted a reference to say, okay, well, you worked for him for like 10 damn years. Like, we need a reference of some sort. Double tap the screen, please, or the three dots in your upper right hand corner. Please hit the likety like button. I only have 10 likes. I need at least 50 likes, please. At least 50 likes. So, yeah, you guys, the problem is, though, she wanted to stay in the music industry, and she has every right to stay in the damn music industry. Like, who, like, these guys really think, or in some of these women in the industry really think that they're God. Like, they feel like they truly have to break you and literally try to make you drop to your knees. Apparently, Diddy even said, you ain't gonna be able to work anywhere else. I'm gonna make you want to unalive yourself. Like, really? Really? Like, it's that serious for you that literally because someone doesn't want to work with you after years of hell, fear, and torment, that you want her to be so stressed out, broke to her knees with an autistic child that you are willing to say, I'm going to have you pretty much want you to take your own life. Like, that is freaking demonic and that is insane. Insane. Like, no way in hell. Absolutely not. So this is actually some of the back and forth testimony. And did he talk about it? Mr. Combs told Chris Lighty he had a pow. He had a problem with 50 Cent. And were you ever accused of stealing? Yes, the jury's are talking about, yeah. So pretty much he said he had a problem with 50 Cent, but I don't know if he just had a problem with 50 Cent. Sorry. I just don't know if he only had a problem with 50 Cent. Hi, Sia. Hello. Make sure you double tap the screen, hit the like button or the red, not the red dots, the three dots to your right to hit the like button. Yeah, you guys, let me see what you guys are doing on the poll. Okay, so yeah, so 16 votes so far. 81% of you guys believe Capricorn Clark. She had the most powerful testimony, you guys. She really did. She really did. Not to mention, everybody said her water flowing, the tears was coming down. The tears was coming down. Like I said, I think that he always had it in the back of his mind once he knew that Capricorn Clark was looking for a job. He purposely wanted her because he knew she couldn't run to anyone. He knew she didn't have any protection. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, where are you going to go? You have no family to go to. You have a child to take care of. He purposely wanted her so he could pretty much make her drop to her knees. That is evil as hell. That is evil as hell. And from my understanding, Diddy was looking a little annoyed and scared in there because his defense really didn't have a strong defense on this. It wasn't like a Cassie situation or a Don situation. It wasn't that. They tried to catch her up on a couple of things about how she, may have wanted Diddy or, and talking about Cassie and saying how, Cassie, is she an extremely talented person? And she's like, she's talented. She said, she's a studio artist, which most of these artists today are. They're studio artists. And to me, that wasn't hating on her having issues with Cassie. That was the damn truth. Even though she said she knew at a certain point Cassie wasn't her friend, but that's the damn truth. You have so many artists today that are there simply because of their looks. And oh my gosh, if they have looks and they just have a little bit of talent, they think they're some type of phenomenon. And she said, I mean, she ain't no Mariah Carey or no Whitney Houston. Hell no, she not. Hell, ain't nobody in this damn generation know for freaking Mariah Carey or Whitney Houston. Like, we ain't going, and those who do have those voices, they are not getting ahead like the Mariah Carey and Whitney Houstons anymore. If you notice that, they can't get ahead like the Mariahs and Whitneys could. Let me see. He groomed them from 6 to 12 months before that showed up on the scene. He was pumping these. You know, it's when I tell you to, like, listening to the reviews of this testimony today, I don't know how you're gonna get out of this. There were certain things that I said I'm a little confused on where the RICO is coming from. I'm a little confused about this, but when I tell you Capricorn Clark took that stand, all of this stuff was starting to tie together. And I said, damn, this is deep. This is deep. And at the end of the day, now, apparently she did actually reach a settlement with Diddy for unlawful termination or something like that when he let her go, saying he let her go because of some vacation or whatever the case may be. They said that she was still trying to reach out to Diddy back in 2021 and 2024 because she said she wanted her life back. She wanted her life back by any means necessary. She has a child to take care of. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, she wanted her life back. And you know what? I believe it, y'all. Like, I'm not looking at this situation where it's like, well, why would you go back with her? I'm not looking at that situation because she probably got addicted to the lifestyle in a sense of, you know, she's taking these vacations. She broke as hell, making $65,000 a year, but she has access. You know what I'm saying? That your average person wouldn't have access to. And that in itself can become addictive. That's why people like her end up working for a Diddy and barely can probably pay their bills. You know what I'm saying? And then literally work for them literally 24 hours on the clock and have all this other stuff happen to them because they know that people are addicted to the lifestyle and the access so they can pay them chump change. Like, when you really think about all the hours she worked, she probably wasn't even making minimum wage, y'all. Living in the most expensive city there is. Yes, double tap the screen. If you are on your cell phone, double tap the screen or the 3 dots in your upper right-hand corner to hit the like button, please. Hit the likety like. So yeah, you guys, I don't know. Chris Lighty's name coming back up. Chris Lighty name coming back up after all these years. And you knew he knew Diddy. You can put Chris Lighty and Diddy in Google. You're going to see plenty of pictures pop up. They've known each other for years. How the hell did this man all of a sudden just unalive himself? Real talk. The trial is about a lot more than people getting freaking. I'm surprised more people aren't being held responsible. Correct. And hello, Cindy. Welcome. Yes, it's much more deeper than the freaky tales, for sure. It is much more deeper than the freaky tales. But again, so far, even though I was like, "Ooh, the prosecution is not adding up," we're just in week 2, and there's going to be 8 weeks total. 8 weeks total. I think they're slowly unfolding everything. Everything that's info. Now, is he going to actually get convicted of everything? I don't think he is. Do I think he's going to get convicted of certain things? Yes. Does that mean he's going to jail forever? I don't know, but let's be clear. A guy like Diddy, even if he has to serve 5 years, that's forever for him. You know what I'm saying? The way he's addicted to the limelight, 5 years is forever for him. But with Fed time, I don't even know is there a such thing as only doing Fed time for 5 years? I feel like Fed time is always football numbers. I don't know. I feel like they always football numbers. Yeah, there's definitely way more. I just think that the prosecution is taking their time because they didn't want to push all of that stuff out in the first week. But I mean, if they coming this hard the second week, the first day, I'm scared, y'all, on what else is about to come out. Like it's almost like, oh gosh, because Capricorn testimony was just whoo. I was like, oh my gosh, girl, like, for those who ever got denied a job at Bad Boy or working for Diddy, rejection was God's protection. Which is interesting because I actually know someone who used to work there. Ooh, now that'd be interesting if she has to. Ooh, oh boy. I wonder how many Bad Boy former employees are going to be called to the stand. I wonder. I really do. And who is this damn Mia character? Everybody, oh, that's another thing too. Everyone's thinking this Mia character, this name that they're using for an assistant is that KK girl. Remember the girl KK that that he thanked at the BET Awards? They're thinking it's KK, and KK has actually snitched on Diddy. Do y'all think that's KK? Is Mia KK? The feds have been investigating exactly, Cindy, and I think that's what people don't realize. They have been investigating this for years. For years. It is ridiculous how long the feds take their time. They take their time. They've probably been talking to the Capricorns and the Cassies for a very long time. A very long time. Double tap the screen. Dots, 3 dots to your right. Feel terrible. Will never cut a track now. With Diddy shut down the record studio again, maybe forever this time. Dylan, who is you talking about? Dylon, or you said Dylan or Dylon? Diddy hasn't made money off of music in years. The only way he's made money off of music is having people's publishing, if you ask me. But he has truly been making money off of just branding himself. That's how he's been making his money. So yeah, definitely he hasn't been like strong in the music industry for a very long time. The last artist that he had attached to his name on some music stuff that actually was pretty darn successful was Nipsey Hussle. And yeah, we know what happened to him. And Victory Lap, while it was pretty successful somewhat from my understanding before Nipsey passed, of course, when Nipsey passed, those sales skyrocketed. Hey, Uda, the sales went up. So yeah, but yeah, you guys, she said Chris Lighty was the one who was gonna give her a chance. And the next day when she was gonna go work for him, Chris Lighty was gone. Is 50 the troll we need in the industry? Is he the troll we need in the industry? Does he know a lot more than he wants to say, but he keeps their foot on their neck because he knows the dirty, grimy stuff that has been played behind the scenes? He always got his foot on a Diddy's neck or a Jay-Z's neck. Always. Always. Even when Diddy got in trouble, he sat up there and did a video like, where Jay-Z at? He don't let them go. He don't. Now I can understand he sat up there and had his, you know what I'm saying, like issue with Irv Gotti. I understand. I know I didn't like how he did it, but at the same time, you know, it is what it is when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. He claims, or they're saying that Gotti tried to unalive him or actually was involved in that. So I guess for him, it's up and it's stuck. It's up and it's stuck forever. But when it comes to Diddy and Jay-Z, and he keeps going and going and going, it's really making me wonder, why are you so pressed about them? Why can't you let it go? I think 50 may be the troll we need. He may be a bad troll in other ways, but when it comes to the industry and certain things that he has said, yeah, I think he purposely is trying to tell people to wake the hell up without really saying anything, but still saying something. You know what I'm saying? He's even made comments before that America can be purchased and how, you know, sales and things like that can be purchased versus them being authentic versus overseas. Have y'all heard that? If y'all heard that before when 50 said that, put a 1 in the chat. He has definitely made comments like that what you're seeing is not really real and is a facade. He's always kind of implied those things. Now, of course, because he does it in a trolling way, people laugh at it. But sometimes, you know what I'm saying, you do that to try to say, no, I'm just playing, but I'm really not, but I'm just playing. So when the shit starts to really unfold and it really comes out, you'll remember what I said. You'll remember it. So yeah, you are either a witness or a co-conspirator. Now, that's the biggest question, I think, too. Who do you think? Okay, let's go there. Damn it, let's go there. It's late night. Let's do it. Who do you think is a witness or a co-conspirator? Because see, the reality is you have some. That's why I said somebody can be a victim and a villain, which is why certain people, when they're taking a stand, they are getting immunity because they can also be co-conspirators. That's why I said Cassie can easily be the victim and the villain. You know, and guess what? A Capricorn Clark can also be a victim and a villain too. Because the only thing is that she probably just never thought he was going to come at her like that. But she could also be a victim and a villain too. Just didn't think that it was going to go as far as it went. You know, a lot of people say like these. Oh, and that's another thing too. Where's these damn bodyguards they keep talking about? Where's the Rubens? Where's the D-Rocks? Where are these damn bodyguards? Are the feds going to force them to take the stand? I want these damn bodyguards to take the stand. Stevie J. Ooh, yeah. Hey, Fourth Horseman, Stevie J. I still don't like how he did Vivica, but I respect that he be calling them out to their face. That's what I'm saying. There's definitely, that's why I said I have a love-hate relationship with 50 because he definitely has said a lot of crazy things about Black women. You know what I mean? The security, Stevie J, and some others that haven't surfaced yet. Yeah, where's the security? Can security really go into hiding or they have no choice? Yes, thank you, Uda. Hit the like, please. Hit the like. But yeah, double tap the screen, you guys, especially if you're on your phone, you just got to double tap the screen or you got to hit the 3 dots and then hit the like button. But yeah, so where's the security? Because Capricorn kept saying Ruben was there or D-Rock was there. Then what was the other guy? What was the other guy she's saying? And how she was calling him when he was actually kicking Cassie and saying, tell him to stop, tell your brother to stop this or whatever. I would think they would have to be called to the carpet. Don't be surprised if they let him walk. You know what, Slick? I wouldn't be surprised at anything. I'm not shocked at anything at this point. You know, it would be hard for me to process, especially, yes, thank you, Mr. Pauly. It would be hard for me to process because of so much that has come out, but nothing surprises me anymore, especially when it comes to evil in this world, sadly. You know what I'm saying? Like I get very shocked when good people are able to succeed at this point. And that's a sad effing way to look at stuff. Like genuine, good-hearted people who just are just extremely talented and just work hard, don't have to sacrifice themselves, like literally just are good people. When they make it, it's like they're a unicorn. Like they're a unicorn. So yeah, I don't know. They'll make a deal with the prosecution. Yeah, but making a deal with the prosecution means that what? I would say that means they have no choice, right? To make sure that they bring their asses to the courts. I would hope that would be part of it. I wonder if Diddy made security sign NDAs. But here's the thing, Fourth. I believe Capricorn Clark said she signed an NDA. Did she not? I think she signed the NDA, but she's still on that stand. Because one thing about it, when the defense did not want her to disclose how much money she got from that wrongful termination. You know what I mean? Because I guess apparently she signed something then that they couldn't say anything bad about each other, whatever the case may be. So what's interesting about these NDAs that I'm sure a lot of them have signed, but still they have no choice but to take the stand, because I guess NDAs don't cover breaking the law. So yeah, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she signed one. This is a RICO case because there are so many defendants. Yes. Yes. Now they also said the RICO cases, of course, have to do, of course, when other people are involved or tied in, which I guess they're trying to imply the security and other people. I've been said that the prosecution has said either you testify as a hi Stephanie. Wait, it's been said that the prosecution has said either you testify as a, I don't know what you're trying to say. Either they're a witness or they're a, well, yes, Cindy actually just said that before you came in. And make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the like button or double tap the screen. Yeah, you're a witness or you're a co-conspirator. And for those who may be a co-conspirator, if they're willing to testify for the prosecution, they're probably getting immunity. NDAs have no weight when it comes to crimes. Goes right out. Exactly. Yes, keep them coming. I need at least 50 likes, you guys. At least 50 likes to get me in the algorithm. Pretty please. Oh wow. I'm looking at the poll. We got 54 votes. I said, do you believe Capricorn Clark? 57% of you guys say yes. 30% say no. And 13% saying she told truths and lies. Damn. Still more yeses though. Still more yeses than no's. But yeah, I felt that her story did not have a lot of holes like Cassie. She definitely was crying like she was taken back to, how horrible everything was for her. And how she just wanted her life back. I do want to know how much money she got from that settlement, though. I'm really curious. To know. And is it enough to where she don't have to work in the industry again? The problem is, though, she may really want to work in the industry. She may really want to. She may really, really love that work, which is unfortunate because guess what? I don't think it's going to happen, my love. I don't think it's going to happen. Okay. Now you taking the stand. Now you've talked about Interscope. You talked about what Interscope said as far as the Diddy situation. You've talked about a lot of things that unfortunately I don't think the industry would want you back. Even if Diddy is seen as, the demon at this point. One thing about it is they don't like when people publicly put out their dirty secrets. When people put the dirty secrets out there, even in this situation, they are always going to wonder if you're going to end up telling someone else's secrets. Even if those secrets are unlawful and shady as hell. But yeah, you guys, I'm going to do another poll too. Because 50 Cent to me is what really oh my gosh, Danielle, do you see somebody? You got trolls literally sitting up there. He ain't said nothing crazy yet, but a troll using Diddy's name. I'm telling you, if that ain't classic, I don't know what is. Leave him alone for now, though. He just did the muscle arm, but oh boy, I tell you. But yeah, so 50 Cent may know a lot. He may know a lot, and he's not saying it. Believe it or not, Diddy not the top of the food chain. Oh, he's not the top of the food chain. Neither is Jay-Z. They're not at the top of the food chain. If they were at the top of the food chain, they wouldn't have to be so out in the public, and they wouldn't have to continue to work the way that they work. They are not top of the food chain people. We won't know who they are, and they sitting in the background making their money. The Diddy's and Jay-Z's of the world constantly have to work the way that they are. They're not the top of the food chain. They're just not. That's why it's so easy to kind of knock them off the chessboard like a pawn. Like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just why it's easy to knock them off. Now, I'm not saying 50 Cent is innocent either. I'm kind of curious to know if something's ever going to come out about him. But what I do know is that he ain't never effed with them. Has never effed with them. And this Chris Lighty thing has me really shook on what she said. Because it comes off as if somebody said, don't work with her, possibly. And Chris Lighty said, I'm going to do what the F I want to do. And there it is. 3 of them are on the Supreme Court. Ooh, Cindy, what you going deep? I'm like, what you talking about? That sounds deep. But yeah, I definitely feel like 50 possibly knows something. And this is why he's also, when is this damn documentary coming out? 50, when is your documentary coming out? At what point is this documentary going to come out? You going to wait until the trial is over? You know what? That actually may be a smart move, because didn't Diddy try to sue NBC and Peacock and all of those people about their documentary, especially right before the trial, because they said it would, mess up his trial and his case and everything. So maybe it would be smart that after the verdict is done, that he puts out the documentary. But where's the damn documentary? As long as he likes this. Well, look, at the end of the day, hopefully he did that troll Diddy did hit the likety likes. Oh my gosh, only 34 likes, you guys. Come on, hit me with the 50. Hit me with the 50 likes. Hit me. We got 34 likes. I need at least 50 likes, y'all. Survivor Diddy. People are always not under suspicion. Aren't they though? And claiming that they took their own life, that don't make no sense. To make it to the top of the game and fall twice as hard, I just don't understand. How can I put it? For the life of me, I don't understand how there have been so many examples of how you can be on top of the world or consider on top of your game, and all of a sudden one scandal or something can take you completely down. How people would not take heed to that and make sure that they have a plan. Because I just don't understand how people don't get it. Like, if you've seen people before you get knocked off their pedestal and their name and every reputation has been destroyed ever since, do you get that cocky where you think it's just not going to happen to you? Or do you know eventually it's going to happen to you and you just enjoy the ride and decide to be as demonic as you can be for as long as you can? Like, I'm confused. Because to me, you would think they would kind of take heed. But I think also it's also because it's too late at a certain point. Like I said, I'm starting to think that a lot of these people who have made it to untouchable, or what people consider untouchable heights, because again, the people who feel like certain people are untouchable are people who really don't understand that these people are at the top of the food chain. But even with that, the Diddy's and them of the world, I feel like in order for them to allow them to get to those certain heights, they have to have something on them. They have to. Just so when it's the right time, or if you act up, they can take you down a notch or take you down completely. Because what are the odds that Diddy has had so many things, from the situation at the city college, then the situation with the club, then the situation with, there's been so many things this man has been able to truly just continue on. There's not enough luck in the world. Not enough luck in the world. And he could say God all he wants. I can almost guarantee the God he talking about ain't the God that I actually serve. And no, yeah, it ain't the same one. So it really makes me wonder, because it's almost like the more scandals he had on him, the bigger he got. Don't it seem like that? Every scandal he had, every situation he had, every trial, every draw, all the drama he had, it was almost like he continued to grow. His brand continued to grow. You know what I'm saying? They think there are guys who can't be touched. Exactly. And that's when the real God knocks them down. That's when the real God knocks them down. Yeah, 17,000 foot Los Angeles home reduced to a 6x9. Right. A 6x9 indeed. He really thought he was invincible. Yeah, and definitely the substances probably played a major role in it too. But if I could be honest with you guys, I feel like substances just make you more of who you are. Money and substances just make you more of who you are. Let's give a good example of that. Who's watched What's Love Got to Do with it? Like Ike Turner, when he started using those substances, he became worse, but we already saw signs of him and his aggression and his manipulation and his abuse before the Coca-Cola came into play. So to me, those things are already in you. It just makes it worse when you have those substances in you. So I feel like Diddy already had it in him, just even based off of the stories that they were talking about in those documentaries. Stories from when he was younger, stories when he was at Howard. He already had those things in him. It just made him worse. That's why people under him felt like there was no recourse, right? And they were too scared to talk. Like, I can't imagine. That's why I'm saying, for those who was interested in work for a bad boy and it didn't happen for you, trust me, you was being protected. Because let me tell you something. I don't think some of these people will ever be able to have normal lives again. Let's just say if Diddy does get convicted and he serves years in prison, these people are still going to be scared. They're still going to be fearful because he's there, but his resources are out. And God forbid he gets completely off. Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine how these people are going to feel. The Capricorn Clarks, the Cassies, the Kid Cuddies, if he gets off, yeah, this ain't going to be good. Whatever happened to just rolling, having a good time, catching the munchies and go home with no charges? Maybe I'm just old now. Antonio, you and me both, honey. You and me both. When I tell you, like, this life that they call that rock and roll life, I don't want that shit. All the stuff that they talk about, I'm like, there is no way in hell you can sleep at night. Your soul has to be tormented because there's no way in hell. And this is why I say all the time, at the end of the day, these industry chicks and these industry people, they are a friend to no one. They're a friend to no one. You know what I'm saying? Capricorn Clark taking pictures with the Lauren Londons and the Cassies just to pretty much still be sitting up here crying, fearful of her life, having traumatic flashbacks and shit. Meanwhile, Cassie done moved on with a man, got millions of dollars in her bank account. Like, like seriously, they definitely are friends to no one. They're a friend to their bottom line. And you know who knows that more than anybody? Guys like Diddy, women like Diddy. They are very aware of the desperation and what these people want just so they can be in the same rooms as the industry folks. Let me see. Lord have mercy for them if he gets out. Yeah. Lance, hello. I don't look at that situation like a troll response. There are people who follow me who feel like Diddy should be freed and they feel like this is all a setup. I mean, Look, at the end of the day, we saw that video. Of course, I'm curious to know why it came out almost 10 years later, but the reality is we still saw the video. He's not completely innocent. Now, are they going to be able to tie all of this together where they can put him in jail for some time? I don't know. But again, that particular court, they said they don't even have a 98% conviction rate. They have a 99% conviction rate. And anyone after, he'll be worse because he'll truly believe he's untouchable. I honestly, Latina, I'm curious to know if, let's just say if he gets off. Let's say if Diddy gets off. I don't know if anybody's going to want to touch him after this. I think he's really going to have that Irv Gotti situation where after Irv Gotti won his Fed case, he couldn't catch a break at that point. I think the powers that be, if this is truly a conspiracy to take Diddy down, if it's a conspiracy, even if he gets off, they've drained his resources and his resources will not want to deal with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is. So even if he gets off, I just don't know if he's ever going to be the same again. I don't know if his pockets are going to be the same. First of all, I never thought he was a billionaire. But remember, from all of these payouts, these lawsuit payouts, and these attorneys, I am sure he is looking at millions on top of millions of dollars. This is draining his pockets because right now, his branding of his name, the Ciroc and all of that stuff is what kept the money flowing. What money is flowing right now with you being in prison, dude? What money is flowing? So I don't know if he's ever going to recover from this. Cassie will never be able to forget anything that she went through. Oh no. And if she doesn't remember, it was because she was high as a kite. Which is why, and also, even though they were trying to discredit that person who they said was a professional witness, traumatic experiences, you can block that out too. That is like scientific at this point, that traumatic experiences, you can really block that out where you won't even remember certain things. Good one, Lance. Thanks for keeping it respectful. Yeah, definitely. I don't know who that is, but I definitely got to get that one. Sorry. We don't do freaking cash apps up in here. That's not mine. I don't even have my own cash app up here. But yeah, so with that being said, I think 50 knows way more. I think he does. But at the same time, I don't know if he's innocent either. Y'all think 50 Cent is innocent? Y'all think he's an innocent guy who just truly was able to kind of get ahead, or has he done some shady stuff too, but he just feel like I ain't as shady as them mofos? He get masters and royalties off of his artists. Remember though, some of those masters and royalties he signed back to his artist. Remember that. So I don't know who necessarily he's still getting royalties off of. I don't know, because this seemed like a perfect storm. Remember, he started giving back royalties and stuff back to his artists, and then bam, this ended up happening, amongst other things. All I heard is the Suns have been renting out the private black jet because everyone else has been frozen. Not sure if it's true. Is the Suns have been renting out the private black jet because everything else has been frozen? What do you mean by that? What? And renting out a private black jet means there's still some money out there, because can't nobody rent out a private jet unless they got some money. This is just 2 weeks. That is true, Cindy. That's also true. We are just in week 2. We are just in the 1 day of week 2. Just 1 day of week 2. We haven't even finished the week. This is what I'm saying. Like, I don't even know who else and what else they could bring up. Now, baby, let me tell y'all something right now. If we find out that KK is going against Diddy and she taking the stand, boy, oh boy. Oh my gosh. I don't care how bad I'm feeling that day. I'm gonna have to get on live that night. If KK testify against Diddy and she has flipped and testified against him, ooh, that's going to be a juicy day. That is going to be a juicy, juicy day. Do you hear me? And you know what's interesting also? Why did it just come into my head? Biggie's mom, she just recently passed. I wonder if she would have been at this trial. Hell, I wonder if she would have testified at this trial. Interesting. You think she would have been at this trial? Mrs. Wallace or Miss Wallace? I don't know. Like, I feel like, man, like, isn't it interesting that she's gone? Afeni Shakur is gone. Damn, like, I feel like both of them would have been at this trial. Or they would have been definitely making sure that they heard and got all the information they could from this trial. Interesting that both of them are not here. If so, I'm happy the kids living is being taken care of. My heart breaks for the kids. Well, interesting enough, some of them don't believe that some of them kids are innocent. They believe some of them older boys ain't innocent, allegedly. Okay. So now them girls, the twins and the other girls and the baby, yeah, I'm sure they're probably innocent in this situation, but some of them don't think a lot of them boys are innocent. She wanted to pop the ish out of her. Yeah. Miss Wallace and Afeni Shakur. Now, of course, they could still be watching it just from another spiritual room, but if they were physically here with us, I wonder if they would have been at that trial or had some comments to say about it. Just like the whole Gene Deal situation, but y'all wanted to talk about too, Me Too, but innocent until proven guilty. Yeah, innocent until proven guilty, even though a lot of times, especially with certain people, it's guilty until proven innocent. But let's talk about real quick the whole Q from Day 26. Have you guys heard recently what Q from Day 26 said about his ex-girlfriend giving him, what was it, a horse tranquilizer pill? And how, you know what I'm saying, he felt like he was about to be sacrificed and how she kind of allegedly aided into that. Did y'all hear about that? Yes. And that's the thing. They said, is it Christian or Justin? Stephanie, I thought it was Justin, or is it Christian? I thought it was both of them, honestly. But again, allegedly, I don't know. But I thought it was both of them that was saying that could be in some deep shit. Did y'all put put a one in the chat if you guys heard about the day Q, to day 26 Q, and literally what he said about his ex, because remember, he actually used to date Don Richardson back in their time on the reality show. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, let me see. Okay, I see yeses, but put a one in the chat. Okay, so one in the chat. So yeah, so he came out. Now, this is interesting though. He just recently came out about this. Now, we had saw him a couple of months ago when Day 26 did interviews and he was crying about, certain experiences that he had. But at that time, he didn't mention what occurred when it came to this horse tranquilizer. But he mentioned it literally after Don took the stand, because this happened after Don took the stand, right? Maybe it triggered him, but he said that she apparently gave him that tranquilizer at Diddy's request. So this is interesting. That's why I say you can't be trusting people who will to do anything and everything just for fame and clout. But that's what he is claiming. Now, she said that she never did it. Of course, she's gonna deny it. Question is, do you believe him? Who do you believe in the situation? You know what I'm saying? Who do you believe? Do you believe Q? Because I remember I used to watch that damn show. Making a Band was my show. Do you hear me? I used to watch that show. And I remember when Q started, I would say losing it. Like it was like him versus everyone else. He seemed to be very, very like F everybody in here, and he will be like, I'm calling a spade, MFer. Like, he was just like at a point where even his like bandmates was like, I am so fearful, like, what is going on here? So I definitely did see a shift. And maybe he felt like he couldn't say anything naturally because, of course, even if he did, they would have edited it out or kicked him off the show altogether. Where's our biggest son royalty making a band Diddy, and a lot of artists and son, but not all of them got royalties back yet. That's see, I don't think he makes any more money on making a band unless making a band is still syndicated and they're still showing like those seasons all over the place. I don't think he makes any more money off of that show. Now he may make money off of Day 26 and what was the other group, their music. I'm sure they're never going to get their royalties, but yeah, but I don't think he makes off of making the band the actual show. Diddy was putting in the baby oil. That's how they've been getting, yeah, amongst some who was probably popping them too. I don't think it was just in the oil. I also think that it was also them popping it and taking oil too. I'm sure it was a mixture of all of it. But either way, the fact that Q said that, I want to know if y'all believe him. Do y'all believe that Don did that? And if so, why bring it up now after she testifies? I don't think he brought this up before, but again, maybe her testifying and him hearing about her testifying how she was scared and certain things happened and how she felt like he was going to unalive her. And he probably was like, really? After what you did to me? And decided to talk. I don't know, but let me see where you guys are as far as, okay, wow. So 78 votes, you guys, and 58% still say they believe Capricorn Clark. 29% say no, and 13% say she told truth and lies. So the young saying Q 1000%. Hey, he trusted that girl. He took ownership of his part, but Don dismissing what she did is diabolical. Okay. It wasn't just Diddy, he had lots of help. You would have to have a lot of help with all of that. With what he was able to do and how long he was able to get away with it, you have to have help. You have to. Now the question is, who else is going down with Diddy? See, that's my issue also with this too. Who else is going down with him? Because it can't just be him. Who else is going down? Everyone needs to go down that has done this type of stuff. Everyone. So that is my issue in the situation. Don't let it just be Diddy because he's the most popular public name. But everybody else who was involved in this needs to go down too. Do y'all not agree? I would say everyone needs to go down. Now, let me tell you this. Me personally, I feel like if he does go down and he exhausts all of his appeals and everything else, Diddy gonna talk. I don't think he cut for prison for even a couple of years, let alone if they give him a 10, 15-year sentence. And I'm being light on that, 10, 15 years. I think eventually that man is going to say something. I think that man will say something. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be shocked if he do a Nicky Barnes and be in prison. Then all of a sudden, a couple years later, he willing to tell on everybody. Y'all know about Nicky Barnes? Look up Nicky Barnes. Nicky Barnes, interesting enough, Nicky Barnes from Harlem literally was a kingpin back in the day. And he got hit, I think, with the RICO, one of the first RICOs, if I'm not mistaken, in the 70s. And he went down. They put him in there, I think, for life. And a couple years later, all because of some alleged poom, he said, I'm telling on everybody. Everybody in his whole freaking camp. Okay. Everybody went down. Now, again, with Diddy, I just don't think he's cut out for it. So I feel like he will say something. I feel like he would. He can have all the freak offs in prison. Child. I mean, it seemed like that would be the perfect place for it, right? We saw all those bandmates crash in real time. Day 26 does still perform. I think they're doing shows at places like City Winery. Hey, as long as they can get paid, right? Who is he going to blame it on? I don't know if he's going to blame it on or just say that they all were involved. I don't know if he would go higher than him and take someone down who's higher than him or on the same level as him, though. I don't know if he'll do that, but I think he'll talk about people who helped him do certain things to kind of try to reduce his sentence if possible. If possible. But I don't think he would do or say anything about someone who was higher than him. Because then if that's the case, he'll go bye-bye also. Shit. He'll go bye-bye also. He'll literally be all of a sudden gone too. But yeah, but I definitely don't think he's cut off for prison. I don't. I mean, I don't think anyone realistically is really cut out for prison. That's why they say prison makes you or breaks you. But I don't think literally humans really they have to adjust themselves to do what they can to survive in there. But you hear a lot of people lose their mind in prison because it's literally supposed to be a cage, like you're treated like an animal to a certain extent. So but with him and the way his lifestyle has been and everything can be at his exposed, like he could get anything, access to anything, to now being in a cell for 10, 15 years, hell, even 5 years. I can't even see that. Cuss words out, please. Thank you. He's not. R. Kelly said that if he go down, he gonna tell everyone too. But R. Kelly's already down. It's just now coming out. So Diddy gonna tell, and when he do, don't be upset at the snitch list, but he will bring everyone down with. I ain't gonna be upset. Why would I be upset on other evil people being exposed? And yeah, R. Kelly said that if he go down, he was gonna tell on everyone too. R. Kelly is down for the count. He ain't getting out. His ass in jail talking about I don't see nothing wrong with a bump and grind. I could not believe when I heard that damn video and he's singing bump and grind in prison. Child, how did Cat Williams know all of this was coming? I don't know if he knew exactly, or maybe he did, but he did say it's God's side of the other side, and you're gonna eventually see. He may have known. He may have known. Because he did say, come, sit down, talk with me. I know a lot of things. That's why when people see me, their heads go down. So maybe somebody was telling him. Same thing with Gene Deal. Gene Deal, the former security guard. He was already knowing this was going to take place. Didn't he say something or imply something that Diddy was going to get arrested and some charges won't be coming to him? And literally it happened. It literally happened. Lance, let me tell you something. You're probably going to be shocked, but I don't have a favorite artist. At least the ones that you may be thinking may be my favorite. Now, I have favorite artists, but they from like the 70s, 80s, and 90s. If you talking about anybody from this generation who's considered at the top of their game for the last 15, 20 years, I'm telling you right now, they ain't my favorite artist. I probably think of them in a different way anyways. Trust and believe that. I don't look at none of these people as untouchable. I don't trust none of their asses. The musical world of prison gonna be lit. Tell you, Gene Deal been speaking out for years. He has. Not that many years though, because a lot of people do feel like though that he saw a lot of things and he don't want to say certain things because he did see a lot of things. But again, Gene Deal ain't stupid. He used to be a probation officer. He used to work in the system in some kind of way. So he still got them connects and he know what to say and what not to say. He paid 50 million 4 times to save his glory hole. Not the glory hole, but he did say that. He didn't say he paid 50 million. He said that he decided not to take those deals to protect his glory hole. He said he refused certain deals to protect his glory hole. It's the Hollywood game, baby. Did you see that YouTube to disrespect today at the courthouse? Yeah, I heard about it, but from my understanding, that guy is known for that. And what I mean by that is he's known for that type of controversy, and creating that type of content. So I don't necessarily know if people would be shocked by that. But yeah, I heard about it, and pretty much Gene Deal said I ain't the one, and I don't think Gene Deal is the one. I don't think Gene Deal is the one. But I guess it ended peacefully, and that was good for him, the YouTuber. Sad that the industry did, sad what the industry did to these people, but oh well. You know, I truly feel like we are getting close to the great reset in a sense of that everybody that has been doing evil for a very long time is about to be exposed. And then to me, the real talent of the world will have opportunities that they haven't been able to have. I don't think we have seen even close to the real talent that is available and that's out there, because usually real talented people, they just want to make their art. They don't want to do all of this extra stuff. So I feel like hopefully the great reset will happen when all of these people who have been gatekeepers, so to speak, are taken down. I really do. At least I hope that will happen. There are 1% and 99. We ain't on that side. Just saying. Yeah. I wonder if JL knows it. Girl, Stephanie. Does JL know something? Come on, girl. Come on. Q from day 26 said he took the red pill and woke up with twins. Yeah. Yeah. We just talked about that, Nick. We did talk about that. It's a lot, man. But you know what I can't stand is that people always want to imply that someone is crazy because they just don't believe what's happening. I can't stand that type of narrative because you don't want to believe it because it's your so-called favorite artist. That person just has to be hating or jealous, or they're mad because they're no longer famous. That type of BS. Like maybe it's just maybe that those people are finally speaking on what's in their hearts and what's been torturing them from all of these years. It takes a lot of courage to literally expose you being vulnerable in that way. Because let's be clear here. Q is saying that someone gave him something that made him hysterical, made him, certain way. He don't really know what happened. So he don't really know what happened to him. He don't even really know. That's a lot to put yourself in a vulnerable situation to admit that, because you don't know. He don't know if there's a possible tape out there with him. He knows none of that. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot, Chris, and there's still so much more to be unveiled. Yeah, girl. But I'm here for it because I just feel like, I don't know, you guys, like I said, I feel like I've been in a twilight zone for years where I'm just like, am I the only one feeling like something ain't right? Am I the only ones feeling like there is some shady stuff going on here, and that, it's a lot of evil stuff going on? Like, I've been feeling that for so long. But of course, these people who got their heads up these celebrities' asses, oh, you just a hater. You just this, you just that. Why can't these people be great? Because they're not great. They're not great. But you still have people who, I can understand people saying on a legal side they don't have enough to keep Diddy, but they feel like that Diddy is still a shady character. But you have some people who are like, all of this stuff is a lie. All this stuff is a lie, and just blaming everybody else except for Diddy. And that to me is sick. You have no idea how irrelevant celebrities really are. Irrelevant to who? Irrelevant to who? Some of these people will straight up go to war for these celebrities that they don't know. It's hard to stop the gatekeepers when you try to get in the industry. They set the boundaries, and it's up to you if you go with it. Right. And I feel like the ones who have not gone with it, they have either been able to find another avenue, like a Cat Williams or whatever the case may be, or it is hard for them to really break into the career that they want. And I feel like hopefully this will allow people to break into the career they want. Like when you really think about it, I think a lot of things because we all like to be entertained. This hence why we watch shows and listen to music and stuff. If you notice, creativity has been very stagnant. Creativity has been very blah. There used to be a golden age of shows, music, and even reality shows. And that has been gone for several years now. I would say the last 10, 15, 20 years, that has been like, it's been slow. It's been like a recycle, repeat of nonsense. It's been very boring. And I think a lot of that is because these gatekeepers, so to speak, are not allowing the most creative people in. They're allowing people that they can control in. And that's the difference. They're not allowing the most creative people because when you dealing with real creativity and real talent, that is very hard to control. So you take someone who may not have that much talent and you bring them into the industry that they so desire because you can easily control them. But that's my opinion. That's my opinion. I've been feeling the same thing. Diddy definitely made someone mad. Yeah, a lot of people say it started off with the liquor company he sued, the price of fame and fortune. Yeah, and I hope at this point people probably say, look, I may be a creative person who still want to do creative things, but I don't need the fame and fortune. Like, let your artistic juices flow. And as long as you can make money that you're comfortable with, but the fame and fortune part, yeah, this I would say at this point that's very problematic. Make sure you double tap the screen, please. Double tap the screen and hit the three dots to your right and hit the like button, please. Um, they put these contracts in effect for a reason so they don't get sued or jailed. Yeah. Yeah, but you know what, y'all? We could talk about this all day. Like I said, if you guys definitely want me to talk more about conspiracy theories and things that have gone on, in the industry, by all means, just let me know. You can drop it in the comment section. But all I know is my antennas went up, honey, when she said the only person who was willing to give her opportunity was Chris Lighty. And literally the next day that she was supposed to start with him, Chris Lighty was gone. If that don't make y'all antennas go up, I don't know what will. I don't know what will. That was very interesting. And what we do, if I'm not mistaken, 50 Cent said he was going to get a private investigator to really investigate Chris Lighty's situation. Notice the public didn't get answers on that investigation, though. We didn't get any answers to it. But did they get answers and they just been keeping quiet? Have they been getting answers and they just keeping quiet? I don't know. I don't know. But I find it interesting. But guess what? I want us to continue the conversation. Do y'all feel 50 knows the truth or he knows something? Do you feel that Chris Lighty was possibly unalive, sacrificed? What I definitely have been hearing from Capricorn Clark and other situations is that these people were slaves. If this ain't slavery, I don't know what is. This is literally low wage slavery. Period. That's it. Again, that's my opinion. Low wage slavery. 50 did say on the Breakfast Club that Diddy tried to strong arm the liquor company. 50 be saying a lot of gems, and he just said with a troll smile on his face a lot of times, putting out the music of violence they want our kids to reveal 100 with both. Yeah, but you know what though? As someone who grew up on gangster rap since I'm from here, and hell, remember when NWA and stuff like that was at the swap meet, like they tapes and everything. I mean, technically, I would say that I grew up on that stuff too, but I'm fine. And I guess that also depends on, I guess, your people and how they instill certain things in you. Because again, I have cousins who are not fine. But I came out okay. But definitely, hell, the way some of this music is going, they making the NWAs and that type of stuff I grew up on look like freaking ballerinas. Because I'm like, some of the stuff that y'all be saying, some of these kids are saying now in they raps and stuff, I'm like, what the hell is going on? 50 been punking folks for the longest. He has, which makes me wonder if he's next. I'm just saying. At a certain point, it just really makes me wonder, 50, are you either going to expose some things and get down to the nitty gritty to where you're going to be another Cat Williams eventually, or are you going to get exposed and the powers that be are going to check you and bring you down to your knees and bring you back to reality? I don't know. Truth is always found in jokes. Yep. That's why certain times comedians like Cat Williams, as much as we was laughing at his interviews, he was dropping gems because of how he talks and how he delivers it. It is funny, but it doesn't mean that it's not true. Makes me wonder if Ja Rule telling a little bit of truth. Woo! Now, Ramon, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. I can't be on here for another hour or two, but you got a point there. You got a point there. Makes you wonder. It makes you wonder because let the Ja Rules and them say it. They was making it seem like 50 Cent is the popos. He the police. I don't know. But again, you got certain people like Ja Rule, you know what I'm saying, who's still successful, but it's very interesting that once they started going at it with 50 Cent, it was just like, Ja Rule who? You know what I'm saying? Like Irv Gotti who? And let's be clear, they for several years had the game on lock with their hits. 50 come on the scene, it was like they are no longer existing. They was basically like at that point, Ja Rule and them didn't even have any hits. They had hits after hits. I don't know what this is, child. Anyways, let me remove. But with that being said, you guys, as y'all can see, the trolls be trolling at a certain point, saying whatever they want to say, and I just take them to the block party or remove their comment. Thank you, Stephanie. Hit the like button. If you on your mobile, you double tap the screen or you hit the three dots to your right. Ja Rule got hit by the feds and 50 was dissing, knowing damn well couldn't say nothing. Yeah, that is a whole mother topic, sir. But again, I appreciate you bringing up that because those are just certain things that just, it makes you wonder. Things that make you go, okay? Things that make you go, Shout out to Arsenio Hall. They used to say that. Things that make you go, Makes you wonder. It makes you wonder. And again, it's kind of sad that it really makes you wonder who's really good people or bad people in this industry. Can you be good? I truly do think you can be good and be in this industry. They're probably few or far in between, but I think it can happen. The question is who's good and who's bad, because a lot of people feel like success means that you're a good person. No, the hell it don't. Success don't mean you a good person, especially not in this world. Success could mean that you're one of the most trifling people out there. So who knows where you think 50 Cent come from? 5-0. He was snitching in his rap. No, well, I see where you're trying to go with that, Lance, but there was actually a stick-up kid from Brooklyn by the name of 50 Cent. And apparently that's who he named himself after, this stick-up kid in Brooklyn. There's actually a documentary about the real 50 Cent. So you may want to look that up. And 50 actually went on that documentary to talk to 50 Cent baby mama or wife about it and actually confirmed that that's where he got it from, because I guess he had heard about 50 Cent back in the day. So I don't know if that necessarily means 5-0 like the police. People do a lot of slimy ish to get to the top. Yep. Especially nowadays. And I can't stand that whole, well, they have to be successful, so that means they're doing something right. No, that it doesn't mean that they're doing something right. It could mean that they're doing everything wrong. But again, I guess that's based off of your morals and your integrity. My morals and integrity, I wouldn't be able to rock a certain way. I wouldn't be able to do people a certain way because that's my morals and integrity. And I know I have a higher power to eventually answer to. Some people don't care. Some people don't care. They don't care what the consequences are, and they feel like they're going to stay on top forever. Ja was going up against a lot of rappers. I give him props and respect. He didn't back down. Yeah. And you know, you have sometimes your most talented people who are also very problematic as well, and they have their own demons, like DMX. DMX, in my opinion, who that was a bad man. Like, he definitely, had a lot of, emotional issues and a lot of traumatic issues, but definitely nonetheless, to me, was one of the rawest rappers out there. And let's be clear, who did he also used to put out there? He talked about Jay-Z, and I think he talked about Diddy too. He talked about both of them too. So yeah, with that being said, I just ain't built like that. Karma is where. You better say that again, Brent. You better say that again. I think people don't understand that. And I think Diddy has officially got his karma. He has officially gotten his karma. I just don't see, even if they let him walk out of there and they say he's not guilty on all counts, I don't think he's ever going to be able to recover. And if he does get out, it would be in his best interest to go where Russell Simmons is, go to Bali and just stay there. Like, just stay there. But with that being said, you guys, I've been on here for over an hour. I didn't even think I was going to be over here for that long, but I am so happy that I did, because I actually have some new people in my chat who was willing to talk and chat and talk about the conspiracies and the devilish stuff going on in this world. I'm going to try my best once a week, or maybe more depending, but at least once a week, talk about the Diddy trial, especially when things kind of just pop up that are just like, whoo, what the hell is going on here? And today was one of them days. And like I said, that Chris Lighty situation made me say, ooh, like, what's going on here? It's not called gangster music for nothing, I guess. Like the live. Yes, like the live, double tap the screen or the actual 3 dots on your right and hit the like button on the way out. With that being said, you guys, thank you guys so much for listening. Again, Chris Nicole, the Chris Nicole channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. Again, if you do the replay, please hit the like button, double tap the screen. That helps my small channel get into the algorithm, and your girl needs to get into the algorithm. So with that being said, let's continue the conversation after the live, and I will see you on my next video. Oh, thank you, Ramon. Right before. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate the super chat. Ramon gave a super chat before I came out. I appreciate you. Thanks so much. With that being said, you guys, like, share, subscribe, and I will see you on my next video. Toodles.